There are moments in life when we witness someone carrying themselves as if nothing and no one could ever touch them. Someone who believes real power comes from being the loudest voice in the room, or from the ability to bend everyone else to their will, as if rules apply only to people they consider beneath them. And seeing that might make you wonder why people like that can seem so strong. I want to share a thought with you. Quiet, simple, and maybe something that shifts the way you see it. Because you're not wrong for feeling what you feel. Annoyed, tired, even intimidated by someone reckless and overly sure of themselves. That reaction is human, and often the people who make the most noise are the ones that unsettle our hearts the most. But there's another way to look at all of this, a calmer way, a perspective people have turned to for thousands of years. The Stoics wrote about this long before any of us were here. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private notes, "A man who imagines he stands above nature's law will be corrected by consequences, not arguments." He wasn't warning anyone. He was observing life exactly as it is. Epictetus added, "There is no heavier tyranny than being ruled by your own impulses," and the meaning is so clear. Someone who appears completely free of limits is not free at all. They are trapped inside themselves. In the real world, we see this play out more often than we admit. A person burns bridges to prove a point. At first, people admire them. Their volume shakes the room. Their boldness demands attention. But time starts doing what time always does. The room gets quieter around them. Allies turn into acquaintances. Acquaintances turn into distance. Mistakes stack up. Trust dissolves. And without noticing it happen, they end up standing alone on the mountaintop they built for themselves, like someone who commands everyone's attention at a party, then goes home with no one willing to hear them out. Meanwhile, the quieter person keeps going, one steady step at a time, building trust instead of forcing loyalty, respecting limits rather than breaking them just to prove they can. That's why the Stoics kept repeating the same truth. Strength doesn't come from doing whatever you want, whenever you want, without regard for boundaries. True strength comes from choosing to honor something bigger than your impulses. Putting this into practice is simpler than it sounds, and anyone can do it. First, notice the surge inside you. When anger rises, give yourself one breath. Second, separate the feeling from the action. Feeling angry is normal. Letting anger steer your life, that's a choice you don't have to make. Third, remind yourself, rules, discipline, and responsibility are not cages. They're protection. They guard us from the chaos we can create with our own hands. And then slowly, something inside starts to shift. Your shoulders drop. Your mind softens. Your decisions stop being reactions. You no longer need to argue louder to feel like you matter. And when someone else explodes, you don't need to rise with them. You can stay grounded, because a different identity begins to grow inside you. You become someone who can lead yourself, not with force, not with fear of losing control, but with quiet awareness that boundaries build character. You become internally steady. You sense when speaking matters, and you sense when silence holds more weight. Your strength isn't measured by who yields to you, but by how deeply you understand yourself. In the end, the arrogant collapse is rarely caused by an enemy outside them. It's their own doing, and those who stay calm, grounded, and principled end up lasting longer and standing taller without ever having to yell. If any part of this sits gently inside you, stay a little longer with the feeling. And if you'd like more quiet reflections like this, you're welcome to subscribe, click like, or share a piece of your story in the comments. I'll read every word.